Welcome to Forked Up, your go-to podcast for all things wassail, fossils, and Belgian waffles. I'm Matt Holloway.
And I'm Michelle Davis. Today we're talking about how climate change is impacting the breakfast table, Frosty the Snowman's criminal record, and how cider was popularized by singing to trees.
So stay tuned, y'all. It's about to get forked up. What the fuck is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Forked Up here in this winter wonderland.
Guys.
That Michelle has spent her afternoon crafting for y'all.
Does it look fucking dope or does it look fucking dope?
We just we threw it together kind of at the last minute because we were like, we need to transition away from autumn into the holiday season.
And we had just found ginger.
Yeah, so last week's decor was a great template.
It was an amuse-bouche.
For what this is evolving into.
Yeah, and it will continue to evolve, but I'm very proud of how it looks right now on camera. I'm like, wow, wow, wow.
Yeah, I tell you, if I was listening to this podcast, I would hate myself for not being able to see how amazing this looks.
Guys, let me tell you, you can do a lot with some cheap-ass curtains from Amazon and some binder clips, okay? But enough about my brilliance as a set designer. Let's do some housekeeping.
Sure. As I sit here sipping away on the Devil's NyQuil.
Oh, yeah. Matt's got a mug of coffee. If you have our new book, Brave New Meal, which you guys all should, this coffee cup is in the photo with the persimmon pancakes.
Oh, it sure is. I'm using a prop in real time.
We use all our props.
Don't tell the IRS.
But for more behind the scenes info like that, you're going to want to sign up for our newsletter, The Broiler Room. Please consider becoming a supporter today. We're able to do this podcast and run our website without a bunch of fucking ads because of our supporters.
These curtains don't pay for themselves.
Thank you very much. $5 a month goes a long way here, so please consider joining the other mother forkers who support our content. It's always so nice to see y'all.
Speaking of supporting us, Brave New Meal is on sale. It makes a fantastic holiday gift. And I believe currently our other books, the previous trilogy is on sale right now. As of this recording, I don't know when this airs if it will be.
It's on sale at a lot of different retailers.
Yeah,
so.
it usually the trilogy usually goes on sale during the holiday season. But books 1 through 4 are on sale for the holiday season. Go grab them. They make fantastic gifts. And I'm not just saying that because I co-wrote them, but...
and they're all under $25. So if you're doing Secret Santa at the office and you got a limit, we have a book for every budget. 22, I think, not on sale is Brave New Meal. And all the rest fall around $15. So... you don't even need to tell people because that list price is way higher. They'll be like, oh, damn, you splurge. And you're like, yeah, sure.
What is the appropriate white elephant?
White elephant's a totally different thing.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, white elephant is when you give somebody something kind of kooky bananas, and it's supposed to be something of yours that you're like passing around.
Oh.
Yeah, but Secret Santa is when you get somebody a present. Like specifically for them.
Oh,
but
you get assigned a person.
Yeah.
Whereas white elephant is like someone's like, I want a jet ski.
Yeah.
And someone else is like, I want that fucking jet ski.
Yeah, and somebody's like, I ended up with this fucking crocheted pot holder.
Yeah.
I at the grocery store, we would do Secret Santa in the department, and more than one time, my Secret Santa forgot to get me something.
They're like, here's a banana.
They gave
Enjoy.
So at the grocery store, we sold those like bamboo disposable plates.
Oh, no.
They gave me those for my Secret Santa present.
You're just taking a hike down aisle 3, getting my fucking...
I think I got somebody like something that they wanted or something. I don't know. I actually spent a little time thinking about it. I got fucking disposable plates. Like I was supposed to do something with that. Anyway, don't be that guy. Don't give somebody disposable plates. Give them our book.
You could give them our book, or as we mentioned in the boiler room 2 weeks ago, you can make them a gift.
Yes.
We have several suggestions.
And recipes.
Either recipes or just something that is a little bit more personal than bamboo plates from aisle 3.
And honestly, you can actually gift subscriptions to the boiler room.
That's true. If you got somebody in your life who is culinary minded, they got a good sense of humor and interested in photography, we got you. But speaking of Brave New Meal, this weekend on our menu, we have the MULLED Spike Cider, which is fantastic for this holiday season. You can make it at your holiday party of one or party of
It's actually just, you can have it and warm it back. Like you can mull it first, have it on your stovetop, and then you can drink it through the weekend. It's really lovely.
I don't know what the fuck a mull is.
Oh, just you wait. But also the second recipe for this weekend that we're recommending to y'all is our chickpea and dumpling soup, an all-time fave here at the Bad Manners headquarters. Maddie Boy's ultimate favorite recipe, favorite holiday food, favorite comfort food of yours, like unchallenged.
Yeah, I'll make it as my whole Christmas meal. It's fantastic. It's very filling.
It's in our first book, but it's also on the website for y'all, so you can check that out. If you've never made it, you need your biggest pot. I write that in the instructions. People don't listen. They're like, oh, okay. You need a big ass pot because the serving size on this, because I knew it takes a little while to make. It's not hard. It just takes some time. But you end up, like Matt's saying, with
you'll use your biggest pot, and it's going to be right at the top.
And you will eat it happily for several days,
and
even with a guest.
It also freezes great.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's
Come on.
Okay, I want to get into the actual episode. Michelle, I sent this to you right before we started recording. Have you seen the mysterious hut that's on the moon?
Yes. I think calling it a hut when it's really a pixelated...
It looks like a structure.
Does it look like a structure?
Mm-hmm. I think so.
You guys can Google this. This is not an insane thing that Matt's saying. I mean, it is insane, but it's... we're going to get such a boring fucking answer when the Chinese rover gets over there.
They're going to get there and they're going to be like, it's a rock.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And they're like, the reason it looks like a structure is because of pixelation.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, exactly.
But it is fascinating. So China has a rover on the moon right now, I believe called the Chang'e. Forgive me if I'm mispronouncing that.
Well, it's roving on over.
Anyways, it's going to take a couple months to get to the structure, but they found something that looks like a building, which is weird.
It looks like a square.
Yeah.
All right. And everyone's like, oh, squares don't exist in nature. Squares exist in nature all the time. I look at quartz and all these other things, I'm sure.
What if the rover gets over there and it is a boulder, but it is a perfectly square boulder, like crafted? Then what?
Then it better take a sample because it could be a crystalline structure that,
Ooh, that's interesting.
That landed there from, asteroids hit the moon all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So things could have happened. What if the rover gets over there and goes black?
Ooh. Transformers 7. This fall.
What was it? I mean, they've always said that the Nazis went to the moon and they're on the dark side of the moon.
You would freeze. You couldn't survive. It's so cold on the dark side of the moon. This is on the far side of the moon. I
do like that you're like, the problem is it's too cold.
I'm not saying the Nazis didn't go to the moon. I'm just saying they would freeze instantly.
Okay, but also no one lives on the moon. There's bigger
Have you been to the moon?
Nah.
You don't know that. Can't say for sure.
Can't say it for sure.
The possibility of people actually living on the moon right now, it's not completely zero.
Well, speaking of silly ideas, did you hear that Jack in the Box is acquiring Del Taco?
I did, and I don't care for this news. This is not welcomed. Jack in the Box is lowest tier fast food in my book. On the way to Palm Springs for that wedding a month ago, Alexis and I pulled over because we're on the road, you're starving. Mm-hmm. The closest thing that we could find to us was a Jack in the Box across the street from the gas station.
Yeah.
They don't have any fucking vegan options. I got some fries.
Okay.
And then she got she got a burger or something. She got something off their menu. Both of us, by the time we got to the hotel, were like, fuck Jack in the Box forever. That was the worst meal I've had in recent memory. Jack in the Box is garbage.
Okay.
And the fact that they're acquiring Del Taco, which in my book is beloved.
Well,
It's
okay,
down
so
down the street from my house. They have tons of vegan options.
You know, it's funny. I live like a block away from a Del Taco too.
They're everywhere in LA.
Well, okay, so they're both California franchises. Jack in the Box is started in San Diego, and so as most of you guys know, I went to school in San Diego, and it's beloved in San Diego.
Really?
As is Del Taco. It's not beloved as like a meal to go have.
Right.
It is that we're fucked up. Let's go get some food kind of meal.
Jack in the Box is not my first choice.
I mean,
it's not even my last
honestly-
choice. Honestly, I'd rather starve.
Even in high school, people would get super fucked up and be like, let's go to Jack in the Box.
I'd rather go hungry.
Del Taco is awesome. I don't eat there because
You don't like the fake meat.
Yeah, I don't like fake meat.
Name one thing from Jack in the Box that are that they're like, okay, so Burger King has you know,
They're tacos. People love their little
but
shitty tacos.
those tacos are shit.
Yeah, but they're cheap.
awful. Yeah. I'm not going to argue how bad Jack in the Box clearly is, and I know the audience is with me on this.
Do you think Jack in the Box is...
Name a worse fast food. Jack in the Box and Arby's, neck and neck.
No!
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
No.
Shit food.
Arby's is by far the worst fast food. It's not even close. It's not even close.
Arby's is shit food, but they just acquired Dunkin' Donuts.
They acquired Dunkin' Donuts, or did Dunkin' acquire them?
No, Arby's bought them.
How in the world does Arby's have the money to buy Dunkin' Donuts? That doesn't make any sense.
So for all
Dunkin's
you
is,
Dunkin' fans, yeah, Dunkin' Donuts sold to Arby's for $8.7 billion. How does Arby's have $8.7 billion?
Oh, they own Buffalo Wild Wings.
Oh. Yeah. Somebody needs to put a pillow over Arby's face. Just put it out of its misery. I'm tired of it. Like for every like one Arby's location, you'll see like 10 BW3s or like 10 Dunkin'.
Yeah.
So Arby's being the parent company and just having sporadic locations
It's like
doesn't make any fucking sense.
it's somebody's pet project.
Yeah.
Somebody in corporate leadership loves Arby's and they're just funneling money. It's like, I gotta support my single dads.
Yeah. Speaking of single parents, before we get into the rest of the episode, a lot of y'all have been asking us for updates on Ginger, the stray dog that Michelle found last week. She is doing fantastic.
She was spayed. She has all her vaccines. She's chipped now. She's learned sit. She's learned
She figured
stay.
out the dog door with ease.
Yeah, no, this dog is wicked smart. She could fight crime if she so chose. She's the best. She is such a snuggle pup too. Oh my God. She loves to snuggle and will like lean into you. And she just wants rough little pets all the time. And lucky for you, she's up for adoption now. So we will be fostering her until we can find her the perfect forever home. But if you are interested, you can go to our Instagram or Facebook where we've posted about her. And all applications are going to be funneled through LA Animal Rescue, who we've worked with in the past. We'd love for you guys to be in the Southern California region. We will do a home check just to make sure because
Matt's going to be doing the home check. I always fucking do the home check.
yeah.
If you want me delivered to your front door, adopt this dog.
Yeah. And she's a babe. She's going to make whatever family takes her home, you guys are not going to regret it. She's such a sweetie. I wish we had the space to keep her, but
She's a fantastic dog. And again, I know I said this last week, but I'll say it again. Like, props to you for stopping and seeing her in trouble and just completely stopping traffic and your day. Because when we found her, she had some injuries.
which are on the mend. She's doing great.
She's doing great. But as much of a monster as it was, whoever clearly abused her and tied her up with an extension cord, to some degree, everyone who saw her diving in and out of traffic and drove past, at least in my book,
Yeah.
also monsters. Like, and like, I get it. Like, we're all rushing to work. Our lives are busy. You can't stop
Yeah.
and suddenly take care of this dog that, you know, may or may not may bite you. Like, I don't know. Like, but you did the right thing. You saved a life, and I'm proud of you because I know that in the past a lot of the fosters have fallen to me, and you've really stepped up and you've Ginger's a fantastic dog, and that's only because of you.
Well, and shout out to my girlfriend Kyria, who is also helping foster Miss Ginger since I do have 2 kitties at home. So we're spending lots of nights over there with her dog Harlow, who's teaching her the ways of indoor pup life. But Harlow doesn't really know the ways of the streets. So it's a pretty even exchange. Everybody's learning a lot.
Bosley was good with her, but the only thing, like, Bosley doesn't like Ginger getting near the food bowl or me because Bosley's protective of me. And I was like, when I got Bosley, he was skin and bones like Ginger was. You could see his ribs.
Yeah, now he's a gray potato.
Now he's all chunk, and he did like a low growl to Ginger over food. I was like, hey, motherfucker. That was you one day.
Yeah.
You were from the streets. You were skinny as fuck. Like, let's help her.
Yeah, and he's come around. And
he's been great. And she's great with other dogs.
She loves other dogs, especially little dogs. But Chewini next door, she's like, bro, can I follow you everywhere? You're hella cute. So again, she's up for adoption. She would be a wonderful addition to any home, especially if you guys have a yard or another dog. So reach out to us or our friends at LA Animal Rescue, and we can get you all the info you need to know about adopting Little Miss Ginger.
It is now time for This Week in Food History.
This some serious gourmet shit.
So in this season of cold nights and warmed beverages, we're going to explore the history of mulled cider. But before we get there, we've got to talk about mulling. Matt has no clue what mulling is.
You mull an idea.
You mull over a plan.
Do you mull? Do you mull anything other than like a thought?
Well, mulling.
Cider? I don't know, man.
So mulling is when you warm up a drinkable liquid and add spices to it so that their flavor diffuses into the drink and you drink it warm. Typically, modern mulling spices are like cinnamon, ginger, cloves, citrus, nutmeg, your holiday spice.
Sure.
And for most of human history, we mulled our less than desirable wine. Take a swig of the bottle, you're like, this is bullshit. Let's put some cinnamon in it and drink it hot. Hell yeah. In fact, mulling was practiced, of course, by the ancient Greeks and Romans and spread slowly from there, like across Europe. Mulled wine really took off in the Middle Ages. The added spices were believed to make people healthier, and when everyone around you is dying of the plague, drinking warm, spicy wine as medicine feels like a clear win. Like you're like, oh, yum, delicious.
You're just fucking hammered all the time, and you're like, I'm just trying not to get sick. I gotta drink this wine.
Health freak. What can I say? The first known use of the word mull is from the 15th century, even though the practice is much older. But not everyone had grapes handy, and thus mulling different beverages was born. So in the British Isles, wassail was the mulled drink of choice. The earliest versions were warmed mead with roasted crab apples dropped inside of it. Do you know what mead is?
The only thing I know about mead is that it's like fermented.
Yes.
and it has
like all alcoholic beverages.
Yeah, but it's like a strong alcohol.
Yeah,
like,
it's fermented honey.
Yeah,
and sometimes they add other spices to it. It's like a honey wine.
I went to a bar one time, and I think it was in Canada, but somebody was like, "Here's a cup of mead or glass of mead," and it was strong as shit.
Yeah,
I did not like it.
Hipsters is the new microbrew of choice.
Mead, it's the new PBR.
Yeah, for sure. But the drink evolved, cutting out the mead, and it became a mulled cider with cinnamon, ginger, and nutmeg, topped with slices of toast, and drunk from a large communal bowl. Not a punch bowl where you're dipping in other cups. We're passing the bowl like it's a fucking bong.
During a plague.
Yeah.
Idiots.
Don't question their logic. So mulled cider is very closely linked with apple orchard wassailing, which is practiced on the 12th night after Christmas. Though the ritual clearly predates Christianity, that's just what it's morphed into. So wassail is a drink, but wassailing...
It's like singing, right?
Yeah, you know the carol, Here We Go, we're wassailing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So wassailing is the practice of going door to door and singing and offering a drink from their wassail bowl. Be like, you want to get in on this in exchange for gifts or food or things like that. It's a lot like caroling, though.
You gotta get a little loaded.
Yeah, and how we talked about last year doing the food history, caroling and everything like that. It used to be the way for lower class people and the poor to go to the patrons of their area, or the whoever's overseeing the orchards and everything like that, and get some compensation. So they would go to your door and they would keep singing, they'd keep wassailing until you gave them some shit.
Yeah, give me a fucking holiday bonus and I'll skate. Until then, like, I'm on your porch singing all night. I don't give a shit.
We won't go until we get some. We won't go until we get some. We won't go until we get some. So bring it right here.
How many?
That's what it is. It's a full.
How many employees does Amazon have?
Yeah, exactly.
Y'all need to wassail your fucking hearts out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Bring us some figgy pudding. Anyway,
bring us some health insurance.
But in farming communities, apple orchard wassailing is a ritual to ask the gods for a good apple harvest. So the villagers would circle around the largest or oldest apple tree in the orchard and hang pieces of toast that had been soaked in the mulled cider in the branches or over the roots.
Very logical thing to do.
Yeah, to attract robins, who represented the good spirits that would help take care of the trees and the orchard and everything. And then the wassailers sing a bunch of sort of incantation-y songs to scare away the evil spirits that might be in the orchard and disrupting the health of the trees. And in later years, they just started firing shotguns off into the air. So these people are drunk, having a party in the apple orchard.
So it's like, I got all this toast. Let's just put it in the tree.
Yeah.
And you got a gun? That's a great idea.
Yeah, let's
Bring
just
your gun.
Pop.
Yeah.
So it sounds like a fun-ass night. And now we just drink mulled cider for fun. No spirits necessary. And you might be wondering what the difference between cider and apple juice is. Well, in most of the world, cider means that the beverage is alcoholic. But of course, that's not the case here in the US because we like to make shit difficult. Apple juice is the clear and often pasteurized juice from apples, while apple cider is made from the juice of mashed up raw apples that has not undergone a filtration process to remove like the coarse particles of pulp or sediment. That's what you're going to find more at like a farmer's market is apple cider. Apple juice will be at the grocery store, has a much longer shelf life. If the cider has alcohol in it or it has been fermented to become alcoholic itself, we call it hard cider here in the US. But if you buy Martinelli's, they call their shit cider.
It doesn't
matter.
Doesn't apply to any of those rules you just mentioned.
Yeah, you just got to kind of guess. These are general guidelines. It's all very dumb, but luckily it's very tasty. And like we said at the top of the show, if you want a recipe for mulled spikes apple cider for the holidays, we have it in our new book, Brave New Meal, on sale now.
I do really enjoy the idea of just like harassing the shit out of your employer or someone who's wealthier than you, like showing up to where they live, drunk as shit, and just being like, "I'll be out all night."
Oh, this is really matter.
Yeah, you gave me some figgy pudding?
Yeah.
And you gave me some money. But then the sick is going to continue.
And it's not getting any better.
We got a guy coming. He's got a shotgun. So, bring your figgy pudding.
Do you want some wet toast?
We got these robins that have been hanging out with us all night. You're just like, it's almost like Halloween for like the common folk going to harass the aristocracy.
No, and honestly, they all come from very similar traditions of being like, let's go fuck shit up.
Yeah. We need to bring that back.
It's fun.
I'm going to stand on your lawn, Bezos, until I get some health insurance. Maybe I'll die here. And you'll be liable.
I'll be liable. Oh, man. Well, you have a Christmas gift for everybody that's coming a little early this year.
Because it has been a minute since we have done ideas. And I got some silly ones this week.
You got any narcotics or marijuana in here?
Not anymore.
Okay, so all of my ideas this week, or this episode, or whatever, whatever.
It's gone off the rails fast.
Too much wassail. They are all holiday themed.
Oh.
I have been. Some of these have been saved over from last year.
Oh.
So, Santa Claus is the first exposure that many of us have to conspiracy theories.
Ooh. You know, I had parents. Obviously, we're going to talk about the existence of Santa, so
Turn it off.
turn it off.
If you got kids in the car or whatever. And if you are a child watching this podcast, what are you doing?
You're so naughty. Yeah, the whole thing as a child to me felt super illogical. The only piece of the Santa conspiracy that I couldn't reconcile is why they did the Santa tracker on TV. I understood why my own parents would lie to me.
It legitimized it by putting it on the news.
Yeah.
It legitimized it.
And look what happened. It was proto Fox News.
Yeah, people don't trust the media, and
It started with the Santa tracker.
it starts with Santa.
Yeah. It fucked me up. I was like, I know why they would lie, but why would they lie? They have no investment in me.
Yeah, they don't even know me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why would they dedicate airtime?
Yeah.
To like Santa's on the move, and
Yeah,
you're
to
like,
a lie we tell children?
Yeah.
Like, it was very confusing. And it was the only thing that had me going, I'm not going to be a total dick about this because there might be something I don't know. All right, I'm ready for your next idea.
Speaking of Santa knowing, who's naughty or nice, and this is something that I couldn't reconcile as a child, that I was like, if Santa knows who's naughty or nice, then clearly he knows that Rudolph is getting bullied. What are you doing, man?
Yeah.
This is under your watch.
Yeah, that's true. It's a hostile work environment.
Poking holes in the fucking lore.
I mean, he obviously doesn't care. He's got an army of slave elves.
Yeah, and okay, so Rudolph has a red nose. Great.
He doesn't have healthcare because he didn't get it fixed.
yeah, maybe it's cancer. We don't know.
Or he's an alcoholic.
Reindeer. Yeah, there you go. Reindeer are also colorblind, so they don't even fucking know what color his nose is.
Yeah, so
they just know it's lighting up.
And that's another confusing part, that reindeer are real, but unicorns are not.
Yeah. There was... I think I was probably 14, and I think I was up in Montana, and I saw actual reindeer.
Yeah.
And I was at that age that I was like, Santa is not real, and like whatever. And then I saw a reindeer, and I was like, can't say for sure. I have never seen that animal before.
I've only heard about it in legend.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff.
All right, I'll give Santa a break.
Okay.
But keeping in with the holiday spirit, A Christmas Carol, one of my favorite parts of the holiday season.
Did you ever do the Christmas Carol? Were you ever in the play?
Not like in the play, but my grandmother every year is like it was very, I think tickets were like $15. She would take me and my sisters to go see it. And that was always so nice, you know? Ebenezer Scrooge didn't learn a lesson. The only thing that he did was when he came back is that he changed who he was so that he wouldn't have this horrible afterlife.
Yeah, so he wasn't haunted.
It was selfish. He wasn't doing it for anyone else's benefit other than his. He was like, I don't want to have a fucking terrible afterlife.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so the Christmas past, he saw how he like broke his fiance's heart and all this stuff happened, and he was like a bad dude. Christmas present, he saw how he was a bad boss, right?
Yeah, the Tiny Tim.
Yeah.
He's in real time.
Yeah, and then Christmas future,
Tiny Tim's dead.
everybody's dead.
Yeah.
And it's all
And
his
it's your
fault.
fault, Ebenezer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he learned a small lesson, certainly not a big enough lesson for having 3 ghosts come and get you.
Yeah.
I've played the ghost of Christmas past. I've played the fiance. I've played children, general rapscallion poverty children.
Going to Catholic school, this wasn't really something we did.
We didn't do it in school.
We did the
That's right. You're hearing it first here. I was a theater kid.
That does not surprise me one bit, actually.
I was the only bitch who could remember her lines. She got all the roles.
But no, we did the whole nativity thing, and I think I was a shepherd one year, and I didn't have any lines. I just stood there with a fucking staff,
Yeah,
a candy cane.
Exactly. That's what I like to see. All right, hit me with another one.
Okay, until science proves otherwise, the Grinch and Oscar the Grouch Same species.
Oh, 100%.
They got those furry fingers.
And the little...
Yeah, and the same color.
But
Maybe they're not the...
And they're both kind of funny.
Yeah, and they both don't like people.
Yeah.
Shrek might be part of that too. I think it's
he's an ogre.
if you're I know he's an ogre, but if you're green, you just I think don't like people.
What about what's his face in Monsters Inc?
Mike Wachowski?
Yeah. He likes people.
No, he's a bit of a curmudgeon.
I saw a thing on, maybe it was TikTok or Twitter, talking about how all green movie characters are hot, and it was The Mask. It was The Grinch.
How they're hot?
Yeah. It was Mike Wachowski. They're always sexy.
Have you seen that photo of how the Grinch stole Thiccmas?
I guess squats are always in season.
Damn. Grinch thick.
I just want to motorboat them cheeks. Hit me with the next one.
Okay. Last one. I got some more that I'll save for next week. But Frosty the Snowman. Mm-hmm. He died. His song is a eulogy. What the fuck? What are we doing? What are we doing? And when Frosty was alive, what did he do? He jaywalked and he kidnapped some children.
He didn't kidnap them. Didn't he just kind of like
Pied Piper 'em? I don't like it. Not my kids. Not in my house. No, I'll take my kids wassailing with a shotgun before I let them hang out with a fucking snowman.
Hold on, what was the movie?
With a top hat that definitely has mercury in it.
Do you remember, or lead for no?
It's a Mad Hatter situation.
Oh yeah, it's what they used to tan.
Yeah.
The hat. What was the movie with everybody's favorite Batman where he was a snowman?
Michael Keaton?
Yeah. He was like was it Jack Frost, where he gets like turned into a snowman, or a spirit inhabits a snowman, and he like spies on his family, but there's like low key sex like vibes going on.
What the fuck? You're right. I've never heard of this.
Describe what's the
This
plot
is
summary?
98. Michael, you didn't need the money. You're coming off Batman.
What's the summary? What's the summary?
As a touring musician clinging to dreams of stardom, aging rocker Jack Frost, played by Michael Keaton, never had much time for his wife, Gabby, played by Kelly Preston.
Oh, R.I.P. Rest in peace.
And
Miss
young
John
son
Travolta.
Charlie, Joseph Cross. A year after Jack's tragic death in a car accident on Christmas, Charlie plays a mournful tune on his father's harmonica. Much to his surprise, the elder Frost is magically brought back to life as a snowman on the family lawn, giving a second chance. Charlie and Jack struggled to make up for lost time. What the fuck? Who asked for this?
It's very weird, and the face is like absurdly expressive. And
$35 million box office.
Yeah, and Michael Keaton, he's so charismatic. He's even charismatic and kind of sexy as a snowman. It's very upsetting.
So I was wrong. Batman was like 9 years prior. Maybe we don't know what bills Michael Keaton had.
What an understatement. We have no idea the financial stability of Mr. Michael Keaton. We don't know why.
Did you go from Batman to Jack Frost? Like, oh, Jesus, man.
You got the image. Google it. It's absolutely, it's worth looking at. Are you ready for some news?
Let's get into the actual fucking episode. That's enough ideas. Probably why we don't do them often. It goes off the rails every fucking time.
Climate change is affecting breakfast. Are you ready for this one?
It's affecting Jack Frost too.
He couldn't come back and visit his kids and try to fuck Kelly Preston with his carrot nose. So lots of commodities are stockpiled in case of shortages, like oil, gas, water. This all makes sense to us. But there is a less likely commodity that is stockpiled in Quebec. And for the first time since 2008, we're having to tap into it. That's right. I'm talking about maple syrup. In June, farmers and climate scientists warned that the freakishly warm weather was leading to a much shorter production season. Vermont's Ag Secretary Anson Tebbets said in an announcement, quote, Vermont maple producers were faced with wild weather changes, ups and downs, starts and stops. Vermont's yield was down a whopping 21% compared to last year, which is a huge drop-off.
When Michelle said maple syrup, our Canadian audience logged on. Well,
oh, we're here.
welcome.
Bonjour for all our Quebec people speaking French. I don't. So Vermont's yield was down a whopping 21%, and the harvest season or the production season went from the standard 38 days to 28 days, despite increasing the overall number of taps on the trees. But Vermont is only the leading syrup producer here in the U.S. The worldwide title, of course, goes to Quebec. Quebec accounts for more than 70% of the world's maple syrup production, and its supply is governed by a kind of government-sanctioned cartel, the Quebec Maple Syrup Producers. Dun, dun, dun!
Canadian mafia.
For sure. They set bulk prices, they cap production, they send their unsold output to a warehouse in Laurierville, Quebec, allowing the agency a level of market control that is very similar, if not stronger, than OPEC has on oil markets. And Quebec's yields were equally fucked this year, just like Vermont, with production being down 24%. The Quebec maple syrup producer said it's releasing nearly 50 million pounds of syrup from its strategic reserve, about half of its stockpile, to make up the difference. First of all, I want a fucking straight Scrooge McDuck.
Just head first dive into that. Yeah.
Oh gosh, I bet I would look so beautiful
That
covered
fucking
in syrup.
side note, he's breaking his neck on that gold. Every time he dives into that giant
He's trying
vault,
to kill himself.
he's snapping his neck on impact. Those nephews of his just got rich.
So that amount, the 50 million pounds, that amount is a third of what the entire region produced this year. So that is a big amount.
It's not nothing.
Yeah, to make up for. This release is the largest by the Quebec maple syrup producers since 2008, which was a freakishly cold year that left producers only 14 days out of what should have been the 38-day production season. And to make matters worse, because of course, demand is at an all-time high as more people are cooking at home and overseas markets are developing a taste for our favorite breakfast condiment. So what will we do in a future without maple syrup? I will say this. When I was in Montreal in the month of December, maple syrup was fucking everywhere. It was so dope. As a girl from California who didn't grow up in the Northeast or in Quebec, obviously, I didn't have much exposure to natural maple syrup. I just,
Yeah, the first time that I ever had maple syrup, like true maple syrup, was when we were on tour for the first book when we went up to Canada, and people were like gifting us little bottles of actual,
straight
real.
Well, I mean, we've had real maple syrup, but we hadn't had fresh maple syrup
and like
that.
that. Once you've had that, there's no going back to like corn syrup. It's night and day.
No, I went to a Christmas market with my friend Rebecca, and they were doing maple taffy in the snow. And you guys might have grown up in the snow area, so forgive me for explaining this to people. But what they do is they boil the maple syrup so it gets thicker, so some of the water evaporates off, and they pour it in strips in the clean snow, and they put a popsicle stick on one end of the strip of maple syrup, and then they roll it. As it sets, because it gets cold, and so you have this
sweet little treat.
You have maple taffy right from the snow, and it was like $1, and it was amazing. And I wish the Quebec people all the luck in saving our maple syrup reserves, because I, for one, will never stop buying maple syrup.
Well, speaking of food problems, since we both have bad news for the food chain this week, I got bad news for picky eaters. Due to the global supply chain issues that we're having, chicken tenders are in short supply and more expensive. However, chicken nuggets, because they're heavily processed and they're just like a amalgamation of like different scraps of meat.
They are the hot dog of the chicken family.
Yeah, the chicken nugget is not, there's no part of a bird on the anatomy that you're like, that's the nugget.
That's the nugget right
there.
under
Under
the wing.
Yeah.
You can see it flopping around.
Chicken nuggies, not affected.
None.
Chicken tendies, very affected.
Oh, no!
because chicken tenders, they're a smaller fillet of the chicken breast. And compared to this time 1 year ago, the price has jumped $1 per pound, which is pretty fucking exponential. It's so bad that retailers like KFC are quietly changing their marketing away from promoting chicken tenders.
Bury the tendies, bury the tendies.
Because they're becoming so expensive. And I have a lot of picky eaters in my life. I used to be one myself. My heart goes out to y'all. But you can't survive on chicken tendies, French fries, mac and cheese. What else?
Cheese pizza.
You can't survive
Hamburger.
on these things alone. Like you got to try and expand your plate and try different things.
Because your palate changes over time.
Totally. Like when I went vegan and I started cooking more, like I had a very like salty, sugary palate.
Yeah, because you've been punched in the face by processed food for your whole life.
Yeah, and that's honestly, it's most people. Like just in the last week alone, I've had dinner with 3 different people, all different ages, all different backgrounds, and we're in a restaurant. You can order whatever you want. And they're sitting there looking at the menu, and they quietly fold it, and the waiter comes over, and they're like, chicken tenders, please.
Give me your finest tendies.
Again, all different dinners.
Yeah.
All different people. But yeah, like Michelle, like you're saying, I get that this is like lifelong conditioning for a lot of people, and it's part of your upbringing. So, for younger people, I kind of have a little bit more of a carve out for it. For people like our age who are in their 30s, I'm like, come on.
Yeah, and I understand, especially when you're younger, it's part of exerting control over the world. It's like, no, I don't eat that. I eat these things. And that's wonderful and great, and everybody should be in charge of their own diet. It's deeply personal. But at a certain point, you're doing your body and your palate and your brain a disservice. Like, there's all kinds of wonderful food. So maybe while chicken tendies are too expensive, maybe you try some other things.
Yeah, I mean,
a bean burrito?
If you're raised in a household where money was tight,
or people couldn't cook.
Yeah, things like macaroni and cheese, chicken tenders, like these really basic and affordable foods, I get have become your favorite over time. But like as an adult, it's time to expand your palate. And
beans are cheap, so is rice.
So vegetables are cheap, and not to like plug our books, but like our website's free. You can go get any of the recipes from our website for free. There's no ads. We're not tracking you through cookies or any of that. There are cookies on our website. They're just not tracking you. We don't give a shit what you do, where you come from before our website, and where you go afterward. I don't fucking care. I'm just trying to give you free recipes.
Yes. Just take this time to expand your palate. We're not trying to shit on chicken tendies. We know they're delish.
Yeah. No one's saying that these things aren't good. But like part of being an adult is not just like learning how to cook, but expanding your palate. There's this infinite rainbow of flavors and ingredients out there that are just waiting for you. And all you have to do is just try something.
Just try it. And the chicken tendies will be waiting, hopefully at a lower price in the near future.
Speaking of ruining food, if chicken tendies isn't doing it for you, I invite you to Talkbuster Video. Talkbuster Video is the segment of our show where we have chaotic videos from the internet's kitchen to our podcast studio. And if you are listening to this podcast, you can go to YouTube, search for Bad Manners Food, and you can enjoy this silly shit with us in real time.
Please enjoy.
And with that out of the way, here is our first video this week.
All right, we have a goblet of water, and it says, when your kids say they don't like water.
When your kids say they don't like water, add lemon juice, cucumber, jelly beans, olive oil, whipped cream, sprinkles. Bye-bye.
I mean, that's funny. I'm not mad.
I can't tell if she's trolling or not.
She's trolling for sure.
It
was the progression of ingredients that told me she was trolling.
Starting with lemon juice, cucumber.
Normal. Then the jelly beans. Olive oil.
What's the olive oil doing? Whipped cream and then sprinkles. At this point, it's more sundae than it is a glass of water.
Or it's partially salad.
Yeah.
I'm into it. I like it.
If you're one of those people who's like, I don't like the taste of water, you are also the same person who's like, chicken tendies, please. There is a Venn diagram of those people, and it is a perfect circle.
Also, you're mostly water. You don't have a choice. Like, I don't like the taste of air. Bitch, who cares? Drink water.
So my buddies being like, I'll hang out with them all day, and we're like day drinking. And I'm like, hey, man, like, you should have a glass of water. I haven't seen you drinking water all day. And they're like,
oh, I don't drink
there's water and beer. And I'm like, dude, your fucking vital organs hate you.
They piss out maple syrup.
Yeah. I don't know. Drink water, y'all. All right. Video number 2. Let's dance.
We got a girl doing a manicure. Oh my God, she's putting like a strainer on her fucking gel tip nail.
What's she doing? Where are we going with this? Oh, we're making a little...
so she can filter her chai?
Yeah.
That's a cardamom pod right there.
Yeah. I wanted to be mad at this. I'm not.
I mean,
this takes talent and some ingenuity. I looked at her entire TikTok. It's just stuff like this, and I'm not mad about it.
I mean, it's
gross.
It's gross. It's clearly not to be copied. It's just trolling stuff, and fine. That's fine. That's fine.
All right, moving on to video number 3.
We have a market with lots of greens and a puppy carrying a bucket. So here we have a bunch of greens, some ladies at a market, and an old pup carrying a bucket walking up. And is he picking out cabbage and box? Oh, he picked out a little cabbage. Oh, she put it in his basket.
Yeah, so it looks like the owner...
and there's money in the basket.
The owner has sent their dog to the market. Mm-hmm. And
he said, good. That's good stuff. Yeah. I like that. Oh, he picks up his little basket. Off I go. Shop, 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 shop. Oh, hold on. He saw something else he liked. Oh, yeah, please, this.
Dogs are so smart.
Oh, and it's different. It's like baby bok choy or another smaller green. It's a different green. Oh, hold on. Are you
the dog is satisfied with the exchange on their way home.
And there's another dog coming in the wings like, I'm security. That is fucking cute. If you've never watched our YouTube channel before, just tune in for that one.
Just for that one clip.
That's real cute. Good job, Matt.
I had a very heavy borderline evil video queued up for this week, and I went the other direction. I went cute.
We and Santa appreciate your sacrifice.
I will save that video for after the new year when you guys are, the holiday season is past.
You're ready to be fucked up again.
Okay, so this next one, this is not a video. What this is a photo that I did not take, but has been circulating Twitter, at least for the last day. It is a job posting for a chain of restaurants, cafes. What would you call creation?
It started at kind of a juice bar, and they have food. I don't like it.
It's like brunchy food and like light lunch, but
I don't understand why it's a bunch of Ks. That kind of stuff makes me nervous. But yeah, so it's a job posting that is really fucking shitty.
So I'll read it out loud for the listeners. It says, still looking for that special person, the one, actually available, has an open schedule. Okay, so immediately we could do an edit right there.
Yeah.
Those are redundant. Eliminate one. Doesn't cry. Okay, I wouldn't lead with that.
Also, why are you making people cry, creation?
If your employees are crying and the application says, and it's one of the top things, doesn't cry, does not bode well. Maybe strike that or at least move it down near the bottom. Let's keep going. Is never late.
That's going to happen. People are going to be late.
Yeah. Has no excuses. Works hard. Has no bullshit. Smiles no matter what.
You don't want that.
That one. Think you might be the one? We're hiring, and a QR code, which I assume is an application next to it.
Yeah, how much is the pay for me to never be late, give you my whole life, and never stop smiling?
The fact that there's no pay listed in this job posting, not a good sign.
Yeah.
The fact that there's no pay, no benefits, and you lead with doesn't cry. This is not a good job.
Have you worked at Creation? Is it a nightmare? Please email us.
Yeah. What is our email? fu@badmanners.com? We'd love to hear some stories from current or previous employees of Creation Organic. It is not a place that we partake in here in Los Angeles.
No.
Okay, I do have one more video. Let's get to it.
What wrong? Why are you burning? What burning? Roof burning. What the fuck?
Oh my god, the microwave is on fire. Somebody microwaved a hot dog or some kind of sausage, and their microwave is on fire from
dude.
the inside.
Yeah, I just like his casualness about it. And
Why? What's wrong?
Yeah, he's just like, what the fuck? Like,
What wrong? Why are you burning? What burning? Roof burning. What the fuck?
Roof burning.
And I appreciate that it looks like hot dogs or some kind of schnitzel.
It's a no, it's not a schnitzel. It's sausage because there's a soft spot in the middle.
Yeah, the hottest of dogs, I would say.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, show a little respect for your body and fucking cook your hot dog or sausage another way, not in the microwave.
How long did you nuke these that the top of the microwave caught fire?
I might have told this story on the pod before, but I had a friend named RJ growing up, and his parents went out of town and he stayed with his grandpa for the first time, but grandma was also gone. And so grandpa was in charge of meals for the first time in his life. And I think RJ, it might have been a hot
flag on the field.
It might have been a hot dog, and they were gonna microwave it. And RJ was like, "Oh, you only need like a minute or 30 seconds or something, like a reasonable amount of time." And Grandpa goes, with all the wisdom in the world, he's like, "You can't cook nothing in that amount of time.
They don't need to cook them; they just need to warm them.
Yeah,
hot dogs are
he
pre-cooked.
put it in for 7 minutes.
No,
it exploded everywhere. When I think about, because RJ was like a little kid, and so I just imagine his like smug ass face, just being like, "Grandpa, what did I fucking tell you?" And Grandpa's like, "Well, clearly I don't know nothing about making food whatsoever."
I wonder if he tried round two. He put in a hot dog in there. He's like 3 minutes this time.
Yeah.
And
RJ's like, "No, my God, no." But yeah.
All right, that's it. We got to wrap out. Shout out to our producer, Caitlin Cleveland, who makes sure that this podcast is in y'all's feed and available for y'all to watch on our YouTube channel every week.
Shout out to our audience. Thanks for tuning in every single week. And don't forget to grab a copy of Brave New Meal wherever books are sold, and to sign up for the Broiler Room so you can get more of us and our nonsense in your inbox every weekend.
And shout out to Brock Berrigan, who does our theme music for Forked Up. Y'all can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest at Bad Manners Food. And you can watch this episode on our YouTube channel.
All of our recipes, including our chickpea and dumpling soup, are available on our website at badmanners.com. And don't forget, Ginger is available for adoption and looking for her forever home. So reach out to us or our friend.
Adoption. Adoption.
That's good. Reach out to our friends at LA Animal Rescue or DM us for more information.
All right, y'all. Stay hungry, keep cooking, and we'll see y'all next week.
Bye.